All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack the alluring and honestly sometimes totally overwhelming world of digital passive income offers. If you've spent, any time online lately, you've definitely been targeted by ads promising that you can build this hands-off digital empire in just a few clicks. It's a massive industry. So today we're going to look at two of the most popular models currently dominating the space: AI-generated book publishing and unrestricted private label rights, or PLR, funnels. We're going to examine the marketing materials of a system called Royalty Profits AI Volume 2, and then we're going to put on our detective hats. We'll apply a strict mathematical reality check borrowed from an independent PLR review to see if these wild claims actually hold water. To start things off, we are looking at the massive, high-energy promises of automated publishing. There's a claim out there that you can go from absolute zero to 14 published books in just 4 days. I mean, let's be real here. Most of us can't even finish reading one book in a weekend, let alone write 14 of them. But that's the hook, right? Speed and automation. The pitch is basically that the days of struggling for months to write, edit, and format a single book are completely over. Instead, they claim you can just bypass all the traditional friction of publishing entirely. And this whole idea perfectly illustrates that hook. They highlight a beta user named Cynthia Wade who allegedly used the Royalty Profits AI system to pump out 14 books and land 305 orders in just 4 days. According to the sales material, these are fully verified results showing nearly 300 processed orders and actual pages being read by real Kindle users. It's specifically designed to make you think, well, if she can do this in under a week, why can't I? It's an incredibly compelling narrative that taps directly into that dream of overnight success. Section 1. The AI Publishing Engine. Let's look at the mechanics and see how this software actually promises to deliver that overnight success. The pitch outlines a remarkably simple workflow where artificial intelligence handles literally everything: the research, the writing, the formatting, in under 6 minutes per book. You just log in, select from over 25 book types. We're talking fiction, nonfiction, children's books, you name it, and you hit go. The AI generates the chapter outline, writes the full content, designs a cover using integrated models like DALL-E 3, and even rates your sales description. Finally, it exports a perfectly formatted PDF or EPUB file that is supposedly 100% ready to be uploaded straight to Amazon KDP. What's really fascinating here is the contrast when you see the actual software dashboard sitting right next to a finished, live product on Amazon, like the book I Am Grok. This bridges the gap between the software's big promise and the actual marketplace reality. The marketing specifically highlights this book, I Am Grok, the ultimate guide to AI engagement, as a top performer. They say it was created in under 6 minutes using their AI system and is generating over $100 in consistent sales. It's presented to us as the absolute ultimate proof of concept. 37. That is the total number of books the system's co-creator, Dimitris Papadopoulos, published using this exact AI methodology to build up his own portfolio of passive royalties. The sales page points right to his Amazon author profile as verification, showing active publishing across hot niches like AI, marketing, and crypto. Now, 37 books is a massive output. Actually, scratch that. For a traditional author, that's practically a lifetime of work. But through the lens of a 6-minute AI tool, that represents just a few hours of actual software use. Okay, so having seen the really seductive pitch of automated AI income, we need to execute a sharp pivot here. We've looked at the glossy front-end marketing, but how can we actually look under the hood of these claims before buying? When everyone online is promising effortless passive income, what tools do we as smart consumers use to separate fact from fiction? Section 2, the reality check lens. Time to verify the math. To build this lens, we're going to borrow from an independent review of a totally different product, the Bright Minds Kids Vault. This product relies on the unrestricted PLR business model, which is another hugely popular path for digital entrepreneurs who want to skip the whole product creation phase. So instead of an AI writing a book for you, PLR means you buy a pre-made library. In this specific case, it's 109 kids' workbooks and activity books. You get the legal rights to literally slap your own name on it and sell it as your very own. Just like the AI publishing model, the appeal here is entirely about speed to market. Section 3, Math versus Marketing Hype. Let's separate the flashy promises from the hard, verifiable mathematics of a sales funnel. You see, in the digital product space, affiliates are heavily recruited to promote these offers, and they're often given highly inflated numbers to convince them to send traffic. But the independent reviewer didn't just blindly trust the vendor's claims. Instead, by tracking the LiveWarrior Plus affiliate dashboard, they verified exactly what this PLR funnel pays out at every single step, up to the absolute maximum. Look closely at how the funnel breaks down. If a single buyer purchases the $5 front-end product, takes the order bump, and and then buys every single one-time offer all the way to the end, the absolute maximum commission is exactly $76.30. That is the hard, verifiable ceiling for a single buyer. When we contrast the vendor's affiliate recruiting page claim against the actual verifiable math, wow, the discrepancy is just glaring. The vendor claimed affiliates could earn up to $200 per visitor. But as the reviewer correctly points out, it is mathematically improbable to earn $200 per visitor when the absolute ceiling for a single buyer who purchases every single upgrade is only $76.30. Because only a fraction of visitors ever even convert into buyers, that $200 per visitor claim is just standard hyperbolic marketing puffery. It's simply not a real number. Section 4. Verifying vendor track records. Let's look into their history, because beyond the math of the funnel, a critical review also absolutely demands that we verify the actual track record of the person selling the system. I mean, anyone can build a flashy sales page, right? But does the vendor actually have a history of delivering real products, or are they just a fly-by-night operation? This checklist empowers you to rely on independent third-party archives to confirm a vendor's history. For the Bright Minds Kids Vault, the reviewer ignored what the vendor said about themselves and checked Munchai, which is an independent launch calendar. They discovered the vendor had a real, verifiable track record of launching similar Vault products at identical pricing structures just weeks prior. They also specifically noted how crucial it is to discard those fake, templated review mill websites that just copy and paste positive claims. You absolutely have to look for independent, third-party confirmation. Section 5. Navigating the claims. Let's take a critical approach and bring both of these lenses together. When we look back at that Royalty Profits AI dashboard, we need to apply this exact same critical thinking. Real digital royalties absolutely do exist, for sure, as shown in this data from the vendor's own verified dashboard. But they require a very realistic understanding of the numbers. Notice that these aren't millions of dollars, right? The top earning book made about $115. The second made around $69. This shows us that while the AI tool can certainly generate the product quickly, the resulting passive income is highly dependent on which specific niches and trends, like AI or faceless marketing, are actually driving the revenue at that moment in time. And understanding your verifiable market data is absolutely crucial. The data shows us a stark reality here. 87% of these royalties come solely from the US marketplace. This is exactly the kind of hard data that separates a truly successful digital publisher from someone who is just blindly chasing marketing hype. You have to know where your buyers actually live, what they're actually buying, and what the real mathematical ceiling of your product is. Ultimately, whether it's an AI software that promises to write 14 books over the weekend, or a PLR vault promising an instant business in a box, the marketing is always going to sound irresistible. But the next time you see a promise for automated passive income, you now have the exact framework to check the math. You know to look past the hype, verify the funnel ceilings, and check the vendor's track record through third parties before you buy. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. How will you mathematically verify the claims of the next done-for-you digital offer that crosses your screen? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.